Today I'll be working on the iPhone 11. This one is bent. This thing rocks like a chair at Cracker Barrel. Unsurprisingly, Apple's strongest smartphone glass ever didn't shatter on the backside, but the front has been reduced to dust. It's also somehow bent at the bottom as well, but at least the charge port still looks like it's smiling about something. As always, we'll start at the bottom with the two nail-like pentalobes that hold the screen down. Grabbing a metal pry tool, I'll work my way around the edges to break the water-resistant seal. At this point, being careful is somewhat optional. With the screen lifting open like a backwards book, we get our first look at the bent internals. Thanks to the small footprint of the double-stacked logic board, it looks like it's avoided major damage from this bend. The battery has a slight crease in it, and it's just about as visible as the one on the Galaxy Fold. There are 5 tiny tri-wing screws that hold the shield to the board. The phone is still on, and disconnecting the battery is pretty important, but it's nearly inaccessible thanks to the digitizer and LCD ribbons covering the battery shield. I'll carefully and quickly unlatch these with a plastic spudger so as not to short anything out. There are 3 more tiny tri-wings that hold the battery shield in place. With those removed, we can disconnect the battery carefully with the plastic spudger and finally disconnect the ear speaker and proximity ribbon from the board. Because I was unable to test this device prior to tearing it down, I'll connect the new screen assembly to the board and power it on to make sure it actually works before going all in on the repair. It displays and responds to touch. Looking good so far. Weird seeing the assistive touch option enabled on a phone that didn't have a home button to begin with, but to each their own. I'll grab the old screen and remove the 3 differently sized Phillips heads, followed by the tiniest tri-wing screw you've ever seen. After peeling back the ear speaker, I'll take off the tiny, pointless shield that's clipped at the top. And I don't recommend removing the assembly this way unless you have a lot of experience. It can cause irreparable damage if you slip. Heat will help remove these pieces a little easier. Carefully, I'll pry it up and off the broken screen. Switching to the new screen, I'll press the components into the plastic housing, replace the useless shield over the top, and tighten the 4 screws that hold the whole assembly in place. I'll reconnect the battery and tighten the shield over the top. This is a horrible design choice from the geniuses at Apple, risking shorting the entire board by having the battery connected while components are reattached. You'll have to be very careful and be sure the device isn't powered on during this install. The proximity and ear speaker are connected first, followed by the LCD and digitizer connections. Now the device can safely be powered on and tested before finishing the repair. Normally I'd replace the water-resistant adhesive around the frame, but given how bent this device is, there will be gaps regardless, and the adhesive won't serve its purpose. The main board shield is carefully laid over the top, and the 5 tri-wing screws are tightened back down. I'll clip the screen back into the top of the frame and firmly work my way down the sides. Thankfully, the glass used in smartphones has some flex to it, otherwise this would probably shatter into pieces. With the phone on and working well, I'll get those 2 penta nails tightened back in and make sure the phone's working fully before returning it to its owner. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions or would like to suggest devices you'd like to see repaired, leave a comment below. I'll see you next time.